In this video, I'll demonstrate how to get started using the OPDEC Critical Path tool and walk through each of its features. We already have the tool open, and we'll start by creating a settings profile. You always start with an empty default profile, but you can create multiple profiles to correspond to multiple schedules. You would do that using the profile dropdown at the top. For now, we'll just fill out the default profile and go through each one of these settings. The milestone template location is the folder containing critical path templates. It's already set to the tool's default install location for the templates that come with the tool. It is possible to create your own custom templates and point the setting to a new location, but we won't be covering that in this video. The results save location is just that. It's where our critical path chart files will be saved to. The empty text field is a setting used by the tool to store temporary calculations. All of the values in this field will be cleared out each time the tool runs, so make sure it's pointing to something not important. We have a field dedicated for this purpose called text30. The major event field should be a text or number field that it uniquely identifies the major milestones in your schedule. The tool removes any constraints or deadlines on all tasks that have a value in the selected field. This lets the tool calculate the critical path based purely on task logic and duration, without sticking points in time. However, be careful with the setting. If you want some constraints and deadlines to show up in your final critical path chart, be sure that those tasks either don't have a value in this field, or if you want all of your constraints to always be respected, simply pick an empty field here. The target date field is used to show the variance between when the target task is forecasted to finish versus when its desired finish date is. We're actually using the deadline field as our target date field for this schedule. A lot of options are here. We'll pick deadline. The progress method determines how the chart shows in progress work. You can select one of project's built-in methods, like %complete or physical %complete, or you can choose a custom number field, like this number 1 field that we have here. For now, we'll just use the %complete option. Now let's look at the advanced settings. We won't use all of these, but we'll discuss each of them briefly. The contract date field allows you to specify an additional date. This value will be shown as a blue diamond symbol on the final critical path chart if you want to display that information. The contract date display text will give text that appears above that symbol, so you can give it a title. The pre-pinned and append values onto activity settings allow you to attach custom information to the left or right side of the symbols. A popular choice for pre-pinning is to give the task unique ID so that you can quickly reference the schedule while you're reviewing the chart. We won't be using the append values, but it is possible to give the append value a title so that you know what value is there. You can specify the default number of paths. We'll choose 5 for now. You can also specify the default lines per page in Milestones Professional. This setting can be very important if your critical path chart needs a lot of vertical space, especially if you're running larger critical path charts with up to 10 paths. When you specify this setting, it breaks out large vertical charts into multiple pages so that they become legible again. A good rule of thumb here is to set a default lines per page setting of 40 or so. 35 to 45 is generally the range that people find legible. The Use Major Event File Name checkbox will save the files with, instead of the task unique ID in their file name, it'll use the value from the major event field that you specified back in the required settings. The Always Show Event as Milestone setting will always insert the final task as a milestone symbol, a diamond, instead of a task bar, even if it has duration. The Auto Size Chart Height setting will try to eliminate as much white space as possible, narrowing the chart down vertically to only show the relevant information contained within. That's all the advanced settings that we'll use for right now, so we'll go ahead and click Save here. And all of our settings are saved. Now let's look at the additional pages settings. These settings are here to generate additional text-based descriptions that go along with your main critical path chart. The Display Master Descriptions page option will generate an additional file along with your main chart that describes each of the 10 paths. So there'll be one row describing path 1, one row describing path 2, and so on. The Displayed Path Detail pages with custom column setting will do something similar, and it goes through each task within each path. So you get one file for path 1, one file for path 2, and each file will contain information about each task within that subpath. Along with this chart, you can specify up to 2 additional custom columns. The text box is going to be the column header, and then the drop-down specifies which field you want to use. We won't be using these settings for right now, so we'll go ahead and save here again. And we'll move on to list management. List management allows you to create batches for multiple critical path charts to be run with one button click. If you find yourself frequently running critical path charts to the same tasks on a regular basis, you could just set up a list. To do this, we'll just provide unique IDs of the tasks that we want to run critical path charts to. But we start with a default list, which isn't very descriptive, so we'll create a new one. And we'll call it PDR and CDR. We'll use this list to run two critical paths for our two PDR and CDR events. You can actually see them in the background here. That's for preliminary design review completion and our critical design review completion. To do that, those are unique IDs 54 and 56. You can either click the Add button here or just press Enter while you're typing the unique ID in that text box, and it adds it to the grid below. Now you can see our list for these two tasks that we want to run critical path charts to. We'll save the list here. And now we're ready to run charts. To do that, we'll go to the Home tab. We'll select Multiple Charts. And instead of our default list, we'll create our new one, PDR and CDR. We want to run 5 paths for each chart, and we'll be using the default critical path chart template. Now we'll just click the Run button and wait for these to be generated. The tool uses project's built-in calculations and methods to run the critical path chart and determine what tasks flow into it. You can see it doing that in the background here. Okay, the tool just finished and it's letting us know that the charts are located in our save location that we specified. You could just open up the charts in Milestones Professional, but why don't we export them to PowerPoint to demonstrate this feature? Often these charts end up in a review presentation of some kind. To do this, we'll just need to provide a file directory up at the top. This should be the same as your save location. Or you can point it to a higher level directory and then use this Search Subdirectories checkbox to search folders within that one. But we know our charts are here, so we'll click Find. And there are our two charts. You can see that the naming convention provides the task unique ID followed by the word master, and then whatever your latest version of Milestones Professional is. So this is .mlj files, which is Milestones Pro 2021. And we'll just export these to PowerPoint. You can see it's making a presentation here. And it just finished. Now we have our charts located in this PowerPoint presentation. The first slide is our PDR chart, since it came first. The next one is our CDR chart, and you can see how our settings are letting this chart flow onto multiple pages. So you can scroll down to the next slide and see the chart continue and finish here. That should be it. From here you can save this presentation and use these charts wherever you see fit. Thank you for watching.